What's up, everybody? This is How to Continues episode 272. Power. Wah, 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 wah. Y'all know who it is. So this is a podcast post up every Monday on outofcontinues.com as an MP3, and before that on youtube.com/outofcontinues as a video, as we talk about video games and any other topics. Again, y'all know who it is, but for those of you who don't, the two of you who do not know who it is, I'm Staffa, the host. And each week I have a different guest host with me, and this week I have my brother Ali.
Hey guys, what's up?
How's it going, Ali?
It's going.
All right. So this week's episode segments will include our main topic, which would be games that should be on the SNES Classic, quick announcement, and then news. All right, let's get this going. Disclaimer: all opinions expressed on the show are of our own and not of our employers, whether past, present, or future. What's up, what's up, what's up? Hashtag don't fire Staffa.
Please don't.
Don't fire me. Promote me. So anyways, let's get going and talk about our main topic, which is games that should be on the SNES Classic, because right now there seems to be reports that SNES Classic is coming out this year because they are stopping production on the NES Classic, even though it is still high in demand, super high in demand. So high in demand that my coworker is snagging them every chance he gets just so he can flip them.
Oh my god, he's a scalper. Oh no, how much is he selling them for?
I don't know, but right now he's gonna start holding on to them just so once they are officially, no longer production, he'll be like, well, here they are.
The worst. The worst.
Well, Nintendo did this to him. It's not his fault. It's Nintendo's fault for not keeping up with demand.
But scalpers though.
But yeah, so
Anyway.
the reports are that the SNES Classic should be coming out this year. The NES Classic had like what, 30 games, right?
Yep.
30 games on it.
It's about $2 each.
So well, I mean, you're also paying for the controllers and the
I said about.
Yeah, but so SNES Classic, I mean, if it does go with 30 games as well, I mean, I think more realistically they'd probably go with like 20 games, because they're gonna be like, oh, these are 16-bit, so less games, even though they're like, a megabyte each. Right? Am I right?
There's something. I mean, there are bigger ones, sir.
Okay. 3 megabytes.
3 megabytes, okay.
Yeah. You can fit them on a floppy disk. And for you kids at home, look up what a floppy disk is.
Make sure there are no typos.
The floppiest of disks.
There you go.
So anyways, games that should be on the SNES Classic. 30 games. I came up with a list of my own, and so I figure, I mean, obviously you gotta have like the Nintendo staple games, Super Mario World, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, Super Mario All Stars. I think that's a game that should be on there.
I think it should be as well.
Yeah. Super Metroid, Star Fox, and since we have like the Mario games on there, throw in Tetris Attack, because that's a game that not many people played, but it's a game that uses Nintendo properties in a Tetris game. Or it's not even a Tetris game. It just uses the Tetris title.
I don't recall playing Tetris Attack. What was so special about it?
It was themed after Yoshi's Island. So like, had like Yoshi's Island characters,
Hmm.
and it played nothing like Tetris at all.
So
I
what did what did it play like?
I guess the closest thing would be like Puyo Puyo,
Oh, really?
maybe. Not really. I mean, it was an original game, but I'd say it played more like Puyo Puyo than Tetris. I don't know, like it's something you have to watch yourself, or I guess maybe like a Puzzle Fighter. I don't know. It's been a while since I played it, and it's its own game.
So it's more of like matching colors as opposed to matching or building rows,
Yeah, you're
correct?
you're not building rows. Yeah.
Interesting.
But it was a really fun game, especially when you played against another person.
Quick
Uh,
tangent. Do you know what Tetris game is awesome?
uh,
Tetrisphere.
no,
I liked that game. That game was fun.
I remember playing that as a kid, and I had no idea what was happening.
It was Tetris in a sphere.
Had no idea what was happening.
Anyway,
So yeah, let's throw in Tetris Attack with the other Mario games. As I mentioned, Super Metroid, Star Fox, Legend of Zelda. Because you gotta have those.
hmm
What's the SNES Classic without those games?
yeah.
Would be interesting if they threw in Star Fox 2 in there. Because from what I remember, that game was basically finished, and you can find ROMs of Star Fox 2.
I doubt it.
Yeah, highly doubt it, but it would be interesting. Um, the Donkey Kong countries, Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong Quest, Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong Double Trouble. Right? Right?
Are they allowed to have old rare games or something? I don't know. I don't know how that whole IP thing works.
I
Considering.
mean, the Rare was like a second party game at the time, so the games themselves are owned by Nintendo, I believe.
Oh,
And
okay.
also they sell them on the virtual console.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about
Um
that.
so I'm pretty sure they're still good. They're still owned by Nintendo. Um Super Punch Out, Kirby Superstar,
I really liked that game. I played that game so much when I was younger.
maybe Kirby 3.
I don't
Uh
recall playing that one.
Kirby 3 was not as well known as Kirby Superstar because it had like this it had like a drawing style, like it looked like a kid drew it with crayons.
Yeah,
And I don't know, less people played that one. Superstar was the better game.
it was. I liked the little mini games that it had.
It felt like you bought one cartridge with a bunch of games on it,
Yeah.
a bunch of different Kirby games.
hmm
um so those are basically like all the you also gotta have Mario Kart,
Yep.
Earthbound, F-Zero. Since you want to have another racing game in there as well, this is also
Since Nintendo will never make another F-Zero game
yeah.
anyway.
Earthbound, since they're never gonna make another English mother game.
Yep.
And would be cool to add in Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Would be cool. I don't know. I feel like Super Mario RPG is a game that Nintendo doesn't want to like touch for some reason. I don't know.
There, I think Paper Mario's kind of filled that void in
Yeah,
terms of because those are RPG type Mario games, but they just keep trying new stuff with Paper Mario.
yeah. Well, like they also went to the Mario and Luigi like Superstar Saga, something like
Yeah.
that. That was also a thing. And then they had like a Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga crossover with Paper Mario.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, Super Mario RPG that was developed by Square Enix, and there's like a bunch of original characters in there
Oh,
that,
really?
yeah, like Mallow and
Oh,
Gino,
yeah, yeah, that's right.
and they never touch those characters again because like they're owned by Square Enix or something like that.
Hmm.
Weird copyright stuff. But that was a really cool game.
It was
Booster's Tower. Come,
Booster's Tower.
yeah. You remember when you like walk behind the curtain and you come back around and he's like
He became
8
8-bit
bit?
Mario.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he ran back behind
And
and
he's just like, oh, I don't know what's happening.
yeah. And for some reason they made him a silent protagonist and like you like
Yep. Nodding
chicken,
yes and no.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, those are basically all the like Nintendo games you gotta have in there.
Hmm.
Um, and I expect that they probably wouldn't have too many third party titles because they don't want to like have too many deals with people.
Yeah, that's probably a lot harder to get the licensing done.
Yeah, so like Killer Instinct, um,
Yeah, that's
I
gonna
don't
be
like I don't know if they'd have to like make a deal with Microsoft
Microsoft.
with that. I'm pretty sure Microsoft would love to make a deal with them. It's just would Nintendo
It would Nintendo, yeah,
want to
exactly.
make a deal with Microsoft? Because like Phil Spencer has like gone on record tons of times. Oh, I'd love for Master Chief to be in Smash Brothers, or just random stuff like that. Like I would
Yeah.
love to do deals with Nintendo and Nintendo. So Phil Spencer would love to do deals with Nintendo, but Nintendo doesn't want to do deals with Microsoft. So uh I mean, Capcom is probably one that they probably would do deals with because they're
Yeah.
Japanese.
I'd hope to see. Yeah, I mean, you've got Mega Man X series listed,
Yeah,
um, X2, X3, and then Street Fighter 2.
and
Um,
uh, and Final Fight guy.
the Final Fight guy.
Yeah.
You know what I
So
would like to see?
uh what's
Captain
that?
Commando.
Was that an SNES?
Was that SNES? Or was that NES? Oh man, now that.
I think it was SNES. Well, I know it's on arcade, but like I think it wasn't so popular on SNES. I highly doubt that would show up at all.
Yeah, it came up on SNES. So, but I would like to see Capcom to do something again with Captain Commando. I thought it was a pretty fun beat 'em up game.
Eh, it was okay.
It was okay.
It was very average. I don't know. I don't remember it being too special. Like the only reason why I checked it out was because Captain Commando was in
Was in Marvel vs.
Mars.
Capcom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. But Forgotten Soldiers was a cool one. That was an arcade game.
Which one is that
That was
on?
the one with the flying dudes and they just shoot like in all directions as
Oh,
they're flying around.
I don't really remember that. I think like Gradius or something would be cool on there.
Oh, on the SNES Classic, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they probably have like Gradius.
Um,
Who did Konami?
was that Konami?
I think Konami did Gradius.
Who did UN Squadron? Because that was also an awesome game.
No idea.
That game was so good.
The reason why I have Final Fight Guy on here is because like Final Fight was in a weird position with SNES where like I mean there was Final Fight Guy, Final Fight 2, Final Fight 3.
Hmm.
And like 3 was the best one, but it had like both 2 and 3 had like really weird characters in it that no one remembers. Like 2 had like a guy named Carlos or something like that, had a sword, and 3 had like this one chick with blonde hair and like just characters that no one remembers.
Hmm.
So they'd probably be like, "Oh, let's get the original," but like very few people played the original one because it had Cody,
Oh yeah.
and then there was like Final Fight Guy, which had Guy instead of Cody. It's such a stupid title.
Um, UN Squadron was developed by Capcom.
Hmm. Oh, okay.
So, and then also Super R-Type would probably be a good one if we're gonna start throwing in a bunch of shmups.
Yeah. Um, they'd probably make a deal with Konami because Konami likes to make deals to make money off of games that already
That
exist.
already exist, that are already done.
Yeah. So, Super Castlevania 4. I don't. They probably also throw in Dracula X in there as well, which is not as good of a game.
Yeah,
Uh, Contra 3, um, and Super Bomberman because that's Hudson, and Hudson is like part of Konami.
but that would compete with their current their Bomberman game.
Ah, oh well. I mean, like they'd only make like 16 uh, SNES Classics, so it's not really competing. They'd be like, "Hey, check this out! If you can't get yourself an SNES Classic, get the new Bomberman game on the
There
Switch."
you go.
Um, yeah, and then I think they'd probably like make a deal with Square Enix,
Hmm.
get like a few Final Fantasy games, Mystic Quest, Final Fantasy, uh, 2 US, which is 4 in Japan, and 3 US, which is 6 in Japan, and Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, I was gonna say you didn't have that on the list. That's
On the
easily
list
one of
now.
the best Final Fantasy games.
Yep, best Final Fantasy game is Chrono Trigger.
It is.
And yeah, that's I mean, other than the games that you threw in there, like Gradius and R Type and Ewan, I mean,
UN
that's
Squadron.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's 30 games right there. You know, I like I said, they'd probably just make a deal with like three third party publishers. Konami, Square, Enix, um, Capcom. Probably not Microsoft.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have Killer Instinct on there. Like
Oh,
I didn't name Mortal Kombat because I don't see them throwing it in there.
yeah. I'm sure this is gonna be more of a a family focused type thing.
Yeah,
Something you could easily.
T-rated games at most,
Yeah.
and also that would be WB games
Hmm.
that they'd have to make a deal with, and Nintendo seems to play better with Japanese companies.
Yeah. It's something about the culture, I guess. Their internal corporate culture.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like that's a list of games. You think that it would be similar? The list would be similar to that if they went with 30 games.
Yeah, I think it would be. That's what makes sense. But who knows though? They might have to. They might not be able to strike certain licensing deals, and maybe they'll just put in a bunch of filler. Um, I don't know. Hopefully not, because
Yeah.
I think SNES is probably one of the strongest consoles probably in
Yeah.
history in terms of like game lineup and variety and stuff.
Yeah. Very solid games. Like I mean, when people think about like classic games, yeah, the NES had a lot of classic games, but the NES had a lot of bad games too.
Hmm.
Really bad ones. And that's because that was an era where developers were still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And for the most part, they were just programmers at the time.
Yep.
Like it was programmers doing the artwork, programmers doing the music. Well, actually, I think they had like musicians. That's probably the only thing that they had. Like just musicians doing the music, but like other than that, like it was all programmers doing like the game design, the artwork, and and then like that's the 16-bit era. They were starting to figure out what is game design, because game design didn't exist back then.
Yeah.
Like before, in the early stages of video games, there was no actual game design. It was like, hey, let's make a game.
Yeah.
I know how to program. So yeah, let's
I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully they'll have some more produced this time instead of just having people kind of hope for the best.
yeah, they won't. When has Nintendo made an abundance of consoles
Of anything.
other than the Wii U? Because no one wanted to buy it.
They made more than two. That was the problem.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah.
So you know what definitely should make the list of games on the SNES Classic?
I don't think you're. I don't think that's the direction you want to take it. But sure, what game, Safa?
Well, I didn't say what game.
You said yeah. You said game.
No, I said what should make it on the list of games.
Well, then it would have to be by proxy a game. Okay, continue.
Dreamhost. Dreamhost, their web service offers unlimited storage, unlimited bandwidth, user-friendly interface, which is also unlimited. And they're also optimized to use content managers such as WordPress, many more features, all that just for $7.95 US a month. And if you use the promo code out of continues, that's one word, no spaces. A way to set fee, it gets your free domain registration.
Oh yes.
Yeah. All right. Quick announcements. iTunes, please leave an iTunes review. It's one of the single most helpful things you can do for the podcast.
Mhm.
And if you can't leave an iTunes review for whatever reason, like you already left one, then you can also help out the podcast by sharing it on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, whatever. Tell a friend, and it really help out the podcast. The other thing, next month, Game Design Month.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it. We're doing it. Game Design Month. It's back. I know it's a month late, but Game Design Month. I'm still working on trying to get a professional, but yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's do some news. The news has came in.
It's Morse code.
Yep. Radio signals from HQ. Dance Commander,
HQ.
we love you. All right. So this is a little bit older news, but I still found on my feed, and I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll throw it in here. So Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, which is the DLC expansion for Uncharted 4, that you get to play as Chloe, and also another girl. I have no idea who it is because I didn't play Uncharted 4. I'll get around to it. And they said that it can be the game could be 10 hours long. They basically said that when they're coming up with ideas for a story, it ended up being like a 10-hour long storyline, and they didn't want to cut corners, or they didn't, there's no way for them to keep it short, and they didn't want to compromise their story. They wanted to just do what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So that sounds pretty cool. That you basically get, I mean, for this expansion, which is I mean, I don't think it's going to be like full price game. You're
Yeah,
basically getting like a full game.
and single player content.
Yeah, as far as single
Um,
player content.
is this supposed to be? I don't know. I feel like I heard or read somewhere that this is going to be available as a standalone.
Um, I don't think so. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be an expansion, but I mean, that wouldn't be the first time that Sony has done standalone expansions.
Yeah.
I mean, they did it with um, what's that superhero game?
Infamous.
Yeah, they did it with Infamous twice.
Did they do it twice?
Yeah, the vampire
Oh
one.
yeah, the vampire one, and then First Light.
Yeah, they did it twice with Infamous. So, um, I wouldn't be surprised if this is also standalone. But regardless, I mean, this sounds pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's talk about the PlayStation 4 since we're on this subject on the subject of Sony. Um, 1 terabyte PS4 Slim finally coming to the US.
Nice.
What
That's,
size has it been? 500 gigs.
the Slim is 500. Yeah.
Okay, so now it's coming. Do we have a date? They just put an ad and they said arriving on store shelves this month. Oh, awesome!
Nice.
$300. Wonder if it's gonna be bundled with a game.
I'm sure different places will have deals and stuff like that.
Maybe I might pick one up.
Yeah, you might be able to find the 500 ones on deal. And considering that they added support for external drives for video games, I can't imagine that, getting 1 terabyte is super important either.
Yeah, because I've like pretty much caught up with like all my bills and everything except for my student loan, which will take an eternity to pay off.
Yep.
But other than that, it's like, well, maybe I'll pick up a PS4 and get me like Uncharted and um Horizon.
Yeah, Horizons, both those are pretty much must plays.
Any other games you think that's a must play? Is Infamous a must play?
I wouldn't say it's a must play, but I definitely had fun with it.
Okay.
I mean, I like the Infamous games, so
But yeah, I like people at work look at me like I'm a heathen when I mention that I don't even have a current gen console.
you like PC.
Yeah, I say PC Master Race as a joke because like my PC is like 4 years old now.
Yeah, but
I don't even think it's 4 years. What year did Batman Arkham Origins come out? Like 3 years ago?
I think so.
Okay, so it's like the video card is like 3 years old now. It's
That's not bad though.
770. So it's starting to become the minimum requirements for a lot of games. But yeah, I'm maybe I'll pick up a PS4 Slim because I really want to play Uncharted, and I'm
Yeah,
only hearing great things about Horizon.
Horizon's really wonderful. I platinumed that game.
A lot of people at work are platinuming it.
Well, the thing is, the platinum requirements aren't like completely unreasonable either.
Mhm.
And one of the nice things is that you can play it on any difficulty as well, so it's not like stupid requirements.
Oh,
But
nice.
yeah, it's just like everything in there is fun to do. So it was yeah. I want more.
Awesome. All right, maybe I'll pick one up. I don't know. Maybe next month or something. We'll see. Either way. Uh let's move on. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Did you get a look at this trailer?
I did.
Um I thought it was pretty cool. What did you think?
It looked cool. I mean, I need to see some significant gameplay changes before I'll even consider picking it up. But
I mean, look, it seemed like they were focusing on the story for the
yeah,
trailer because the first Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront,
it was
had
multiplayer only.
yeah, it was multiplayer only, and so they're like, okay, everyone wants a campaign, and the only thing that kind of gets me a little weary about this campaign is that they're saying that, oh, you'll get to play as like all these different characters, so that doesn't sound like a good idea to me. They mentioned, oh, you'll play as Luke Skywalker, Kylo Ren. It's gonna change viewpoints a bunch of times. You'll play all these other heroes.
In the single player?
Yeah, in the single player.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, single it says Star Wars Battlefront 2's single player campaign will include missions where you can play as Luke Skywalker and Kylo Ren among other heroes. Well, first of all, Kylo Ren is not a hero.
Yeah. Da, 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 da.
Oh, that was a song in the trailer.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
I think that was from episode 1. Da, 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 da.
And they show like um Darth Maul in the trailer as well.
Mhm.
So I don't know, it seems like they're going all over the place. The trailer seemed like it was very focused at first.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, here's this chick who's part of the Empire, and it seems like you're gonna be playing as her, which is kind of seems pretty cool. Focusing on the Empire side
Mhm.
rather than playing as like the Rebellion or the Jedi or whatever.
Yeah, it's always the rebels. Yeah.
That would be a nice change to like do their perspective, even though like Star Wars is literally black and white.
Yeah.
It's very binary with like the good and evil.
Yeah.
There's really no um gray, which makes it a bit more, bit less interesting than a lot of other stories. But just the fact that like, okay, even though there's like no gray area and these people are clearly evil, it would still be interesting to like have a story from their side for once. But then it's like, oh, here's also Luke Skywalker and Kylo Ren and everybody. So I don't know. That's my rant. I feel like I should have been, if it was a bit more focused, I think I'd be more excited for it. But it still
Yeah.
looks pretty cool.
It does. I really need to see some gameplay changes though. I didn't like the structure of the single player. That's why basically after I played the beta, I was like, I don't need this game because
You didn't like the
essentially,
structure of the single player?
sorry, the multiplayer. My bad, the
Okay.
single player. I meant what I thought, not what I said. But anyway,
Yeah. Moving on.
yep.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about our good friends at Remedy. Very close friends. Huge. They are bigger fans of the podcast than we are of their games, and we're huge fans of their games. That's how tight we are. TITE. Tight.
No.
Tight. So, anyways, Remedy, who recently developed Quantum Break
Mhm.
for the Xbox One and PC, which I've heard it got like all right reviews.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like the story is really cool, but the gameplay isn't so, or something like that.
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
I heard the reverse.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It probably depends on who you talk to. The gameplay looks pretty cool, but
Yeah, it does.
I feel like I remember hearing that the whole episodic thing was kind of a bust.
Hmm. Well, so basically, they went on Twitter and explained that they are working on Crossfire 2, which I don't know what the heck Crossfire is. Sounds like
Crossfire.
no, not that one. A wish. So it says Korean studio Smilegate. So I'm assuming some free to play game, maybe.
Could be.
This is probably something that won't even be released in the U.S. and they're doing it just to make to make money
Yeah.
to help fund the studio because they got to do that. So, I have no idea what the heck Crossfire is. At the Crossfire Vision Summit held in Shanghai during the China Joy 2016 conference, Smilegate revealed that Remedy is responsible for developing the story mode for the upcoming Crossfire 2. Okay, so like I said, I think this is gonna be like some free to play game for Korea.
Yeah. I think I've played some of it myself. Yeah, it looks like a free to play Counter-Strike type game.
Okay, so yeah, they're working on that as well as P7, codename P7, which is probably just Project 7 because they did what's some racing game or like a top down racing game. That was their first game.
Did they?
Yeah, and well, Remedy Games. What was the game called?
Death Rally.
Death Rally. Yes, yeah, so it's like a top-down racing game. There's a screenshot of it. It's like top-down. They eventually put it on mobile.
Using being
So
crazy.
that's Project 1. Then the Max Paynes. That's 2 and 3. Alan Wake is 4. Then Alan Wake, American's Nightmare 5. And Agents of Storm, an iOS game. Oh no, I don't even know what the heck that is. Quantum Break is probably 6, and then Crossfire 2. No, P7 would be Project 7 because they're probably not counting these weird, mobile games that they're just doing for money, like Agents of Storm. Never even heard of that. That's probably something for, another country that's similar to Crossfire 2.
It looks like it doesn't even have. Does it have a web page?
No. Well, when I click on it, it just reloads the Remedy page. So yeah. So Project 7, you know, that's the actual game, and they said we have been upfront about what's up with Alan Wake 2. Hope to make it one day if possible, but for now it's Crossfire 2 and P7. And they also mentioned to somebody on Twitter that Rockstar Games owns Max Payne, so the future is up to them. So I guess somebody was like, "Hey, what about Max Payne?"
Yeah.
So yeah, they've been saying for a long while that they've been wanting to make Alan Wake 2, and they're like, hey, depending on how Quantum Break sells, maybe we might be able to have enough money to make Alan Wake 2, and it seems like it didn't sell well enough for them to make Alan Wake 2, which is unfortunate because Alan Wake was an awesome game.
It was very pretty.
It was an awesome game, and it ended with a cliffhanger. Yeah.
That sucks.
It wasn't done. But yeah, moving on. Last bit of gaming news. We got a reveal. Call of Duty WW2.
A reveal for a reveal.
Yes, or the gameplay reveal will be this coming Friday. But so it was an announcement. Call of Duty WW2, which is Sledgehammer's game. Which everybody basically knew it was Sledgehammer's year for a game.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't. It just wasn't officially announced, but we knew it was Sledgehammer's year
based on the dev cycles. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we get this image of a soldier dude with his hands in front of his face, which is also the the cover image, the cover art of the box art. Yeah.
Cover art of the box.
So, and I suppose there's also some leaks, a couple of screenshots which just look like, hey, here's some army dudes, which of course, army dudes makes sense.
No, there's got to be aliens in World War II.
And there's also like a leak of some game modes, like the entire single player campaign will be like co-op.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So earlier, like a month or so ago, Activision said, "Oh, Call of Duty will be going back to its roots," and some people are like, "Oh, they're gonna be going to World War One because they're copying off of Battlefield One." And I mean, Sledgehammer was working on this game before there was rumors of Battlefield 1, yeah, or Battlefield 1 taking place in World War One.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say is the title seems pretty stupid.
Yeah, it could be better.
Way better. Way better.
I mean, I mentioned that it's not as bad as Battlefield 1, especially considering they had Arabic 1 instead of Roman numeral 1. But
yes.
The title could definitely be better. I don't know.
I mean, the way how it's titled makes it sound as if, hey, Call of Duty has finally ventured into World War II.
That's where it all started.
Yeah. It's like, okay, what about like the first 3 games and World at War?
Yeah.
There was 4 games. And that's like if you don't count Call of Duty 2, the big red one.
Yeah, I was gonna say big red one's definitely one as well.
Yeah, that's like a different game from Call of Duty 2. So 5 games if you count big red one. So this would be the 6th time that they're in World War II. Such a stupid title. I think they could, like, if they came up with like anything, Call of Duty Reigns of Iron,
I think they could have gone, because I was thinking exactly like big red one. It wasn't like exactly a numbered title. But they had a subtitle to it, Call of Duty, whatever.
Yeah. Call of Duty Little Red One. Whatever. I don't know. Anything could have been better than this. But I guess they wanted it to be as apparent as possible for this for the consumers to know that this is a World War II game.
Yeah.
It just seems very short-sighted. It's like, hey, we want this to sell now, and we don't care about what people are going to think about this game in the future.
Yeah.
It's like, 10 years from now, oh, which one was your favorite Call of Duty game? I like Call of Duty World War II. Which one?
Do you mean 2? No.
Call of Duty World War II.
Yeah.
Call of Duty WW2. Mine was Call of Duty WWF. That was my favorite.
You said WWF?
Yes. Call of Duty Mania. Anyways, yeah, that's my thoughts on this. Do you have anything you want to add?
I don't know. I want to see how it is.
Yeah. You'll see this Friday.
Yep.
With the boots on the ground, looking like a fool with the boots on the ground. So, no? No General Larry Platt?
What would the next line be for that?
Helmet on sideways.
Helmet on sideways.
I don't know. All right, so that's it for video game news. I have a few non-video game news. So Guardians of the Galaxy 3 brings back James Gunn as director and writer. Like 2 weeks before it's even released, Guardians 2 is released. They're already talking about Guardians 3. That's all I have to say.
That's all I have to say.
That's all I had to say. Moving on. You
That's
have
all
anything
I
you
have
want
to
to add?
say about that.
All right. So a Marvel boss. I'm just gonna go through Kevin Feige. Kevin
Mhm.
Feige confirmed Spider-Man for Avengers 4. The next Avengers movie after that because they decided to change the title of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they also he mentioned that he's going to be in those two Avengers movies for now. They're open to more deals, but right now the deal is basically just those two
Mm-hmm.
that he's going to show up in. They have a deal that they're going to be making the Homecoming movie that's coming out this year, as well as another Spider-Man movie in 2019. So like their deal is like really weird. Basically, their deal is that they're gonna be making the movies for Sony, and Sony will still be like primarily making the money
Yeah.
because it's their license. Uh, and they don't have like complete use of Spider-Man. Like they can't throw him in any movie that they want
Yeah.
because if they throw him in their movies, then Sony's not making the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so confirmation that he's gonna be in at least two of the Avenger movies, the Infinity War and then the sequel to the Infinity War. So that's cool.
Double Infinity War.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, like that was the reason why they wanted to get him in the first place, right? To like include him in the Infinity War. They wanted Infinity War to like be like this huge, like
Infinity
crossover of all crossovers. Yeah. You have anything you want to add?
No, I mean, I'm glad Sony's finally including Spider-Man in their in those other movies.
Yeah.
The whole not knowing where all these lines are drawn for Marvel IPs is kind of ridiculous, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Like Marvel like dug themselves a grave in the 90s when they started like selling out all these like movie licenses.
Yep.
Because they were thinking very short term. They wanted to save the company
Yeah.
because they were hurting. Like comics was in a dark time in the 90s. And yeah, I mean
The
like
darkest timeline.
yeah, well, I'm basically like they're selling all these like issue ones of like random uh comic titles because like Action Comics 1 is worth a lot of money. The first
Yeah.
the first issue with Superman in it. That
Yep.
is like the only one that's worth a lot of money. Every other comic is not worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
And basically like they are going the whole like baseball card route of let's like sell a bunch of issue ones for like every other random superhero that we can think of.
Yeah.
And there was just so many of these issue ones that they're worthless. They're not even
Yeah.
worth the money that they try to hype it up to be as. And and it was not even like quality comics at that time. So they start hurting and they're like, oh, let's get into movies.
Yep.
But yeah, that's what happened. Moving on.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a leak. Krypton, the show that's gonna
There's
be
a
on
Kryptonian
Sci-Fi.
leak.
Yes, Kryptonian leak. Krypton is leaking on us.
Oh no.
So,
If Superman comes to fight us, he'll lose. We will win.
did you get to watch the trailer?
I did not know.
Oh, so there was a leak for the Krypton trailer. It got pulled because it was leaked,
Yeah.
and uh, this is being produced by David Goyer, who worked on the Man of Steel, and like basically from the trailer of this, they're like, "Oh, which part of the Man of Steel did everyone really like?" Oh, it was the very beginning when it took place on Krypton, and let's make an entire TV series based off that. And it looks really good, like
Uh-huh.
for especially for a sci-fi series. Which, keep in mind, sci-fi has done all these terrible, like, let's get some high school intern or college intern to like render these cheap giant goofy 3D monsters, just basement budget
Yeah.
TV
B budget,
series. And
D
yeah,
budget.
F budget. just the worst of budgets. Just like these random TV series and movies, like straight to TV movies. And
Yeah.
then now they like all of a sudden, how the heck did they have all the money to fund this? Like, this looks really good.
Yeah.
The trailer looked fantastic, and it looks like they might be tying it with the the movie universe, because they used the exact same Superman logo, or the House of L logo,
Hmm.
that was used in Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. So, but the thing is, it's like it takes place. I mean, it takes place during the time of Superman's grandfather,
Hmm.
and he's like a young guy, and so like it's like a couple generations before Superman, and
Yeah.
that all of Krypton is going to blow up. So what's the point?
Well, it's like Halo Reach. Halo Reach is gonna blow up. So, but they wanted to tell the story.
I suppose, but it's like it's like, okay, we're gonna add more to the movie universe. I mean, it definitely doesn't. It looks like if it's connected to any universe, it's not connected to the CW universe. It's connected to the movie universe, and it's like, oh, we're gonna add more to the mythos of the Man of Steel,
Uh-huh.
but it's all gonna blow up anyway. So what's what's the point of adding more to this universe? So I don't know. I mean, like, I'm watching the trailer, and there's like some really cool designs. Like there's like a character that walks with like this, I don't know, like either like some mask or something that had like 5 faces. It's just some really cool designs and looks like really good production, but the acting, I don't know, acting is all right. They,
Hmm.
they, they even got like a an actor from Game of Thrones, so it also gave me like a whole like kind of a Game of Thrones vibe as well, because it seemed like they're trying to do like political backstabbing stuff that
Yeah.
they're hinting at. So I don't know. Regardless, I was pleasantly surprised by the trailer, because it looked, or I expected terrible, and it looked not terrible.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you didn't get to watch it, because I would have liked to hear your
My opinions on it.
yeah. Um, but yeah, so I think it's supposed to be coming out this year. I don't know. I probably won't watch it. Yeah.
I'll give it a chance. I've got Sci-Fi Channel, so I might give it a chance.
Hmm. All right. Last one. Last news article, or not news, but announcement.
Hmm.
Trailer. Cloak and Dagger. What the heck is Freeform a channel?
Yes, it's Freeform used to be ABC Family.
Oh, so it's a cable channel then.
Yeah.
All right. So Marvel released the Cloak and Dagger trailer. They are a superhero couple.
Hmm.
I like they weren't always teenagers. Like earlier they were adults, and I suppose like now they're more like rebooted to be more of a teenage type couple. And yeah, I watched this trailer. Well, I want to hear what your thought. Did you watch the trailer, Ali?
I did not know.
Okay, I had a huge CW vibe coming from this.
Well, the thing is, the reason why I didn't watch it is because Freeform, like I said, it used to be ABC Family, and that's basically ABC's version of CW. I mean, it's higher budget, but still, it's like the same. It's like that same target audience,
Hmm.
the tweens and whatever. So I was just like, when it gets closer, and if people start saying something about it, then I might take a look at it. But otherwise, I don't know.
Yeah, I watched this trailer and I had like the opposite reaction as I did with the Krypton trailer, which I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." With Cloak and Dagger, I was like, "Oh, this is definitely not for me."
Yeah,
This is kind of dumb. The
yeah,
acting was very bad. Uh, the setup seemed very cliche. It just I'm hearing myself come from your end, but
all right.
yeah, it seemed pretty dumb. I am definitely not gonna watch this.
Yeah, I I didn't have any hope for it once I saw his freeform.
Yeah, I like I said, I didn't know what freeform is, but
Well, now you know.
it was very CW. It's like, oh, let's get these young, good-looking people and even hope that they can act. Oh, they can't act. Let's go with it anyways.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh no, that's it with me. I'm done with that.
Don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Yup. Moving off this planet right now. All right, but I mean, next Friday's gonna be Guardians 2. Guardians 2. Also, that's free comic book day as well.
Hmm.
You know, like every year during free comic book day, Marvel releases a movie.
Really
Yes. Every free comic book day, Marvel releases a new movie.
interesting.
Yeah, and that way they can also like promote the movie with a free comic book. So, during free comic book day, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be like a Guardians of the Galaxy comic book. But yeah, every year, free comic book day. For those of you who don't know, free comic book day is the first Saturday of May, and basically the entire like comic industry has basically partnered together to uh, promote themselves, promote comic books, promote the comic book industry by having free comic book day, because they're like, okay, we need to get people into comic shops, and what better way to promote comic books than to and get them into comic shops than to like give out a free comic book. And that way they when they're in there they could be like, oh, this looks cool too, and that looks cool, and I'll get these. Or they can just pick up the free comic books, read them, and then be like, this was actually pretty cool, I'll go back to the comics shop and get more of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, free comic book day. All right, listener feedback, we don't have any this week. If you want to write into the podcast, write into podcast@communities.com. let's wrap things up. If you enjoy what you've been hearing, you can support us by liking us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, leave an iTunes review, subscribe to the Google Play Music. You can contact by email at podcast@outofcontinues.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/outofcontinues. All those things I just blurred out, they can be found on the website. That's www.outofcontinues.com. You can also give me a tweet. I'm at SayedStafa. That's at SayedS. Sorry, let's start over. At SayedStafa. I want to make sure you can hear me say the letters. Also, Ali has a Twitter. He's a little bit more active than me right now.
Yep, I am at Phosphor112. That is PHOSPHOR112.
I'd like to thank my guest host for joining me today, Ali.
Howdy ho.
And with that said, I'm your host, Stafa. And if you are currently watching this on YouTube, click on the icon that's going to show up right here on my face to subscribe, or click on the sides over here on one of these two videos, the previous two podcasts. Bye.